All right, we're back with another shoe video. Today we have the Tokio Solar Hues by Pharrell Williams in collaboration with Nigo, I think. So yeah, let's get into it here. It says, don't open with a sharp instrument, which I'm doing, so hopefully that goes okay. I'm really excited about these shoes. They're definitely the most exaggerated pair of shoes, I'll say, that I've gotten in a long time, or at least I think they will be probably gotten ever. But something about them I just really like. So let's see if they live up in person. So just generic box here, and then we get the typical Adidas Hue box. So just that right there. So pretty average. Got the nice like Adidas and Pharrell Williams logos there. So that's pretty much it on the box. So let's get into it. Okay. All right, yeah, these are, like I said, exaggerated, but I like them a lot. Look at that. That's a lot of color, and I like it. All right, so let's get the other one out here. So, as you can see from this one, comes with another pair of laces if I want those. It's the same like colorway as others, just these are rounded and the ones on here are flat. I'll probably keep the flat because I like that. So yeah, about this shoe. Obviously the colors are crazy, but more to it than that. The upper on this, the style that you see there, is from the old 1964 Adidas shoes that were released for the Tokyo Olympics back in 1964. And that's what this upper is based off of. It's, you know, they released it this year because that's when the Olympics were supposed to happen in Tokyo, but obviously that didn't happen. But yeah, so it's based off that. I really like the old fashioned sort of style to it. Yeah, something about it is just really nice. And then also, obviously they have the boost now that they wouldn't have had back then. So that's cool. On the tabs, we got the Hue on the insole, and I won't pull it out to show it, but it has the typical Pharrell insole that has all the different like organs and things like that in it, which is cool. We've got this really bright blue outsole, which is cool, and then obviously the orange, and then yeah, so I'll just kind of show a bit more. We've got these two crosses on the back for a pop there. They've got some Japanese writing there, which I'm not going to pretend to know what that means. And yeah, so pretty cool overall. We've got the like lime green pop there. Yeah, I just really like the color. Let's go to the other one here. On the back here, this one we got the Adidas logo there, so that's the difference there, but otherwise it's the same shoe, just for the left foot. So yeah, really cool shoe. I'll try these on and show some images of that here. You might notice that all of my recent shoes that I've been unboxing, so like the Dame 6 Pusha T collab, the very first video on this channel, the Air Max 2090, trying to think if there's any, oh yeah, the teal tints. Everything's really colorful all of a sudden, which has been quite the shift from what I had been, especially through high school and even up through a couple years in college. And I think that's, well, there's definitely a reason behind that. I think in a lot of ways it represents my hunt for individuality and like self-expression. And that's one of the nice things about shoes is, for me, is they're a way to express that and define that. It's kind of like, it's what I choose as my vector for that, basically. So that leads me to something, Derek, and if Derek's watching this, shout out to Derek. A while ago, he asked me if I was a hype beast, or was like, are you like a hype beast or something like that? And I was like, no, and I kind of took a little bit of offense to that, which he had no way of knowing, which, so no hard feelings there. But I took a little bit of offense to that because I don't consider myself a hype beast at all. I do consider myself a sneakerhead, and here's where I draw the difference. So for example, these shoes, right? On on Adidas.com and on the Adidas app, they're still out, they're still being sold, but most of the shoes that I see, especially through the Adidas app, get sold out immediately, unless they're like the Kid Cuddies that nobody likes. But basically that means this isn't a shoe that everybody's out there trying to pick up, trying to resell, trying to do anything like that. And in a lot of ways, it's a shoe people probably don't like. And I assume that's probably because of the crazy colors. It doesn't really work for everybody. It just happened to speak to me in that way. But the point is, I don't go out and look for shoes and try to buy shoes that everybody else is going to want to buy. I don't interact with them that way. And to add on to that, I don't go and try to buy the newest Supreme hoodie or whatever that is. That's why I don't consider myself a hype beast. I'm not in this for the hype. I'm not in this for clout or anything like that. I buy things that speak to me in some way, and typically, more recently especially, it's as a way of trying to search for and express levels of individuality. Nothing that you can really put into words, and that's not even to say too that like, oh look, I have a really colorful shoe, I must be, you know, really unique. It's not that, but it's a way of claiming something for my own, I guess, and using this with whatever else I'm wearing or however I'm presenting myself, whether that's like by appearance wise or whether that's by how I'm actually interacting with someone. It's a way of showing that. And I think this crazy colors that I've been starting to get into shows that I'm kind of trying to develop that, or more than anything, show that in my own head I'm breaking through to that. I'm breaking through to what I actually want my inner self to be. And it's like not having guards up or interacting with the world around you in the ways that you think you're supposed to, necessarily just interacting with the world around you in the ways that you know you already want to, right? And I'm thinking about that in respects to sort of consumerism, because one of the things I wonder about is how much of me wanting to buy shoes is based on like learned consumerism, right? How much of wanting to buy a new thing, finding something that represents myself and is individual or whatever, how much of that is trained consumerism? And I don't really have an answer to that. I assume there's definitely levels of that, and I think a decent amount is trained consumerism, but that's where I fall into this like middle area, right? Like in a lot of ways I have severe distaste for consumerism or buying things just to buy things, and I don't like how places like shoe companies will take advantage of that trained consumerism, and I definitely fall victim to it. But I also, on the other side, have voices, mainly from my dad, that's, you know, don't buy things. He has a harder time even buying himself stuff like his lathe or anything like that. It took him a long time just to get that, because I guess he just has these feelings that like you can't spend for yourself, or it's not necessary, or what happens if something goes wrong and you needed that money or something like that, right? It's this like antithesis to consumerism that he has, right? And so when it comes to buying a shoe, I run into the problem of like how much of this is just like, oh, it's a new thing and this company's good at marketing it to me and I want to buy it. Or I run into like, my dad would be like, that's stupid, you shouldn't buy that. That's for these shoes were like $180. I have no reason to really buy that. I'm trying to save up for law school here. So when you think about it, just money-wise, it doesn't make sense. But part of the point of this whole video that I talk about here in a sec is that, you know, breaking out and being just how, like, interacting just how I want to interact, right? And so in reality, I don't want to interact with things based on consumerism alone, right? So I'm not doing that with these. I also don't want to interact on things based on just fear or something like that alone. So I'm not going to just not buy these because like, well, what if I needed that that money for saving up for law school, when in the long run, the $180, while a significant chunk and important, isn't going to be what makes or breaks me, right? So I trying to break out. I understand that I am being influenced by marketing and levels of consumerism from all these companies, whether it's Adidas, Nike, or any other thing, and praise their genius in finding ways to make it easy to use shoes as a way to express something like individuality or something like that. So finding ways to make something feel like art, but that's also incredibly important and also has a bunch of market power behind it. It's impressive. So recognizing that, but also recognizing that, like, I don't necessarily need to run from that. It's okay to use something someone made to get people to try to express their individuality or express something else through it, or stand out, or whatever it might be that person has a reason to buy it. It's okay to use, just because they're trying to gain something from it, it's okay to use that for your own purposes. What's not okay is just getting trapped in doing exactly what they want, or being trapped in fear of something, right? So it's finding that balance and not doing stuff for yourself. So that's my little cut in on consumerism here, is it's not something I necessarily support, but it's also not something you should be entirely fearful of. Just use stuff for your own purposes. And that's what I'm trying to do here. In a lot of ways, these shoes are, since they're a representation of my individuality, they are a constant reminder to keep just learning to operate in the world how I feel like operating in the world, instead of doing things based on, like, oh, this is typically what someone should do here, or this is how someone should react. Because in reality, like, after, I mean, I'm 21 now, after all my years on the planet, which isn't much, but I've had enough that, you know, you learn what's right, what's wrong, how to actually interact. But it's no longer necessary to just mimic, because, you know, when you mimic, that's what you do when you're learning, when you're young. You mimic, you operate in society or in the world around you how you see others doing, and that's how you learn. But at this point in my life, I don't need to do that. I can take control, and I guess that's what this is. This is a representation, a convoluted artistic way of representing that I'm attempting to take control, basically. I'm not trying to mimic the world around me. I'm not trying to conform, because I've learned what I need to do already. I've learned how I need to interact with the world around me, and now I just need to give it my own flavor. So yeah, so that's what this is. I like that. This is my own flavor. So yeah, I hope you like this video. I hope you like my parkour video from I guess a couple days ago. I don't know when I'm gonna release this, but my last parkour videos. The second one, the parkour go burr one, was that was fun. It was just funny. The one I actually wanted to get out there was a stroll through campus. That's my serious one, but a parkour go burr was funny to me. So anyway, that's all I got, really. Oh, I guess I should complete the review. We've got Adidas right there on the front tab that it shows there. So that's another little pop, and the Continental. As you can tell, I'm not a professional shoe reviewer, nor do I really want to be. I just like sharing, I guess. So so yeah, I'll end this video and talk to you when I talk to you.